Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, the High Guy Jacobs, and today we're taking a look at Archipelago Raid. We haven't yet started into it. We are about 15 minutes from the starting of it, but I figured we'd take some time to look at the matchmaking of this event and see how we are placed. We are currently residing in Jade Legion with an overall rating at 43 billion. That's coming from, let's take a look here, Legion out of 125, Sorcery Swords out of 208, Legion of Freedom out of 291, Ohana out of 336, and Freak Show out of 351. As you can see, we are actually one of the lowest marked ones in our Legion, and that is literally just because if you look at us right now, we are at about our lowest might we've been at it a while. We have managed to kick out everybody down to just our basic fighting numbers, giving us our most leanest weight that we could get into. This does bring us into, if we look at it here, this is going to bring us into G29, which isn't bad. But overall, it's a situation that is going to make us fairly, well, it's going to appease us. It gives us a lot of opportunities to fight, and even when we look at the matchmaking here, you'll see that it's fairly balanced. I'm quite surprised with what they've done here. So we've got Jade Legion over here. If we take a look at some of these players, I didn't mean to click that button here, but if we go ahead and look at some of these breakdowns here, we can see how this works down. So if you look at Legion first, and we look at their members, obviously their leader here is into the 60 millions, but the rest of their team is where they're going to be bringing it up. We've got Predator, Hell Higgins, Debugger, things like that. And then obviously they've got some of their bigger players here into their main alliance body. Next, we're going to take a quick look at Sassy, or Sorcery Swords. I actually had a history with these guys. I played with them for a while. Absolutely great fighters, decent alliance to play with. Obviously, the only reason I left was because we had internal disagreements with them. But from here, we're actually sitting fairly good. So if we look at these members, and the members that they're bringing, Ryzen is here at 146 with a decent number of kills. Sparta's over here as well, and if we look at Sparta, we can see that he's obviously a guy that likes to bang and brawl as well. So we are bringing a decent amount of fight to the field. We've got Legions of Freedom here with their members as well, bringing in a nice 180 million as well. We've got Ohana bringing in another 200 million out of their leader, Farzad. So you can start to see that, you know, even though our alliance is one of the weaker ones in this side, because they do have a 200 million player here too, what we're bringing is a lot more, I guess I would have to say, consistency. Most of our might, most of our power is actually residing with players closer between or above 50 million, so ranking more between that 80 to 100 million. We're bringing a lot more of those individual players. Not nearly as strong or independent. We will have to lean on our friends in our Legion for leading rallies and garrisons, but we do bring numbers, and I think that's going to be something that's going to work well for us in the future. Now, I'm not going to go too much into the other alliances because that would give us spending way too much time here. We'll take a quick look at some of the names. You might be able to tell some if you've recognized them before. For example, in Gold Legion, you've got Hurry is over there. We've got Phoenix over there. These are guys that I've played with as well, or I've played against, pardon me. In Azure, we also have a couple of well-known ones. We've got Imps over here, which I've played up against a couple of times. We've got Spar here, which I've played up against a couple of times. And then still a couple of new alliances. So it's really interesting. And then obviously we've got into Crimson Legion as well, which I also know two of the different alliances in there. I know Misery and Rogue, both of them, Rogue Warriors, pardon me. I believe that's what it is, right? Yeah, Rogue Warriors. Both that and Misery Loves Company are both, in their own rights, very, very decent hitters. So we're going to be looking to hopefully fight them off here in this section up here. Now, as it stands, we know that Crimson and Gold have negotiated an alliance between the two of them, so they will be working towards capturing these two level 6s as well as the level 7 Westward Treasure City, which leaves us and Azure to ally, therefore giving us these two and this East Bay Treasure City. What does this look like in the field? Well, it's going to mean that we as our alliance are going to build north and is going to build north towards this one. They're going to build east towards this one. These guys are going to build south towards this one, and these guys are going to build west towards this one. Does that mean that Crimson will not build towards the east? No. In fact, if I were them, I would build that way anyways, just to earn the bonus cement generation from capturing both level 4 gates. If we look at the map here, let's go ahead and take a look at this event. We'll run over some things very, very quickly. What I suggest right out the bat is going ahead and capturing your checkpoints as quick as possible, okay? You've got 2 checkpoints to capture right out the gate. They are providing alliance materials to the alliance that captures them. This is something I actually just verified today. So these, this bonus alliance material does not go to the entire faction. Or the entire legion, pardon me. This only goes to the alliance that captures the gate. So theoretically, you want your strongest members or your strongest partners to capture these gates. Make sure the weakest alliances are not capturing these gates. Give that bonus cement to your strongest teams, okay? I have double checked that with the developers, so unless it's actually working differently to what the developers said, which is possible, this is the way that it's explained. So only the alliance that captures the gate will earn the alliance materials. Make sure your strongest alliances in your legion are capturing those subjects. Granted, it is different when you talk about the East Bay Tower, because the capturing boost itself is actually provided to the actual legion. So it's not just those, but the alliance materials are specifically captured by those specific alliance that captures it, okay? So make sure that your strongest alliances are the ones that are capturing those things so that they can benefit the most from having that, which allows, obviously, for the best and strongest towers to be built and for the most kind of consolidation of resources. Because remember, a lot of what AR has to do with is managing your cement and being very cognizant, and aware of when that cement generates. You've got scavengers that are going to spawn around the level 6s, the level 7s, as well as elite scavengers that will spawn around the level 8. Defeating these scavengers, they will drop cement, at which point you have to collect that cement and return it home to your shelter. This will then give that cement to your alliance. But remember, folks, these are timed events. So, for example, every 2 hours, your regular scavengers will appear at your level 6 and level 7 towers. At 2 o'clock UTC and 14 o'clock UTC, you'll have your elite scavs spawning at the Lush Sanctum in the middle. These ones drop 2,000 cement apiece, whereas these ones only drop, I believe, 150? Or is it 125? I don't remember, but it's much, much lower. So in reality, you really want to hyper focus on making sure that we're getting into that area, into the level 8, and making sure that you're getting those elite scavengers. Do this as a group. Make sure your whole legion moves together. Don't try to do them by yourself. You'll get eaten. Because as you're carrying 2,000 cement, your troops take a ton more damage, and unfortunately travel much slower. So remember, work in groups. Do not leave your cement carriers to themselves. Walk with them. That is very, 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 very important. Okay, that being said, folks, this is only day 1. We haven't started. We are going to be going into AR in approximately 7 minutes. And I will go ahead and record more videos throughout this event that I will post at the end of the event, so as to not give away any of our secrets to the opposing team who might also be watching. And I really hope you do enjoy. If you haven't yet, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell so you get notified of any new updates that we put out, and obviously any new videos that we drop. If you haven't yet, check out www.thcemporium.ca for any of your The High Guy or the Mrs. merch. That's my wife. And as always, love, peace, chicken grease. And until next time, stay lifted.